So today we're going to be looking at the top 16 from YCS Japan, Tokyo 2023. This was held on May 28th, 2023 with 4,000 participants. It's a best of one format and there was 8 rounds of Swiss with top 64 of single elimination. So that adds another 5 rounds to it, 6 rounds. Yeah, about 6 rounds there. And let's take a look at the top 16. We have Mathmex from Mr. Yuki. We also have Makanko in second place. We have Keshtira Pearly in third place and Super Heavy Samurai in fourth. For fifth through eighth, we have Sun Avalon Rika, Rescue Ace, Sword Soul, and Bestial Dragon Link. 9th through 16th, you have Super Heavy Samurai, Branded, Rescue Ace, Adventure Pearly, Runic Keshtira, Sun Avalon, and a deck that has not been disclosed. So let's take a look. We have Mr. Yuki here. We sadly don't have his deck profile, but let's get into the Mikanko list. Now, this is Kaiku's Mikanko list that he got second place with, that they got, I should say. And it is a standard variant of the deck. You're running your total 12 hand traps there, which is quite a lot, but in a deck like this, you have enough room. You have the one Kaiju along with the Infernal Knight to help support all your equip spells that you have, and then you can also summon just for free, which I really do like. And plus, you do have a Fire Warrior, which is quite nice. In the extra deck, one of the tech cards that they have is Vampire Sheridan. It is from Mega Packs 19, and I believe it was also from Secret. Oh, in Dasa. Ooh, that was with the Sky Striker support or first wave. But honestly, with this deck, this is definitely a neat deck that I wish more TCG players would play in the future. After that, we have the Kashtira Pearly list. Now, over there, Pearly is one of the best decks of the format. On top of the fact that they don't have anything hit in the deck, we can see that they're on 3 Purely Leap, and also Red Reboot because they still have that legal. They are running a small Kashtira package of 1 Fenrir, Unicorn, and Planet because Planet can get the Unicorn. Unicorn can get pretty much nothing, but Fenrir can get you the Unicorn, so you have a backup for discard fodder or even extending if you needed. One of the things that you will see in a lot of these deck lists are the main hand traps being things like Ash Blossom, Droll Lockbird, and Maxi. Mostly Droll Lockbird and Maxi because Droll counters Maxi in a lot of the decks currently in the OCG meta. This deck is completely standard on how you want to run it. I am not too sure on Pot of Desires, but if it helps, it helps. After that, we have Super Heavy Samurai from Kenta. And this is the 4th place list. And yes, they do have Artifact Scythe legal still. So this is an Artifact Scythe Dagda deck because you can utilize it to its fullest extent, fullest potential. And as we can see, there's 2 Machina Metal Cruncher and 3 Therian Regulus. Now, in my opinion, 3 Therian Regulus is a little too much, but hey, it gets the job done. And Metal Cruncher is a nice starter for the deck because it just replaces itself. In the extra deck, as we can see, we have the level 12 Super Heavy Samurai monster being a 4K defense wall that you can attack with. Is pretty amazing, and nothing really to note. They're running the Santa Claus because Pearly, and also a few other decks that run towers. We have Sun Avalon Rika from Yuji right here, and some of the things that I did want to point out with this deck is that they're running the Predaplant Pendulum monster, which honestly is an interesting tech in my opinion, because with this deck, it really helps since Spider Orchid, that is the name of the card, it allows you to target one face-up card in the spell and trap card zone, destroy it. Cool, that just is spot removal, which is very nice. And the monster effect is during the end phase that this is a normal or special summon. You can discard 1 plat monster, add one plat monster that's level 4 or lower from your deck to your hand. So that's pretty nice. And another card that they're running is Catsy Tail. And Catsy Tail is a wonderful card that we're getting in our Battle Legends Monstrous Revenge. or Cattycorn, I should say. Caddytail's a completely different card. Cattycorn is a very useful card because if it's special summoned while you control no cards in your field zone, you can add one field zone from your deck to your hand. If this card is destroyed by battle and sent to the graveyard, you can target one field spell in your graveyard, add one card with the same name from your deck to your hand. So really, all you're getting is your one Con, which is very broken, and being able to summon this if you don't have it in your field zone just to search it out, it is really good, and I might play it in a few decks if they start hitting field spells. Other things that I do want to mention in this deck is that they're running Hyperion, a wonderful card, and outside of that, none of the other techs. Rescue Ace is a deck that I haven't really touched much, but the new emergency and the new level 7 monster they got in Duel's Nexus helps a lot. They're running Small World because everything is a bridge into everything, which is nice. They're also running Nibiru because you have that option of Nibiruing your opponent while you have stuff on the board so you can rebuild your board. They're also running the Cyber Fusion monster from Cyberstorm Access because you can send cards from the extra deck, which I really do nice and which I do like. This card is Cyber's Save Worm, but it's just there when your opponent activates a spell or trap card while you control a level 4 or higher Cyber's monster. That's link 4 or higher. You can banish this card from your field or graveyard and negate the activation. So you're running things like Access Code, Firewall, Neo Tempest, and both of those are sufficient targets because I believe the Neo Terahertz can send that to the graveyard, which I really do like. After that, we have Sword Soul. They are still on the Dark Rebellion Overload Zeus package, on top of the fact they're still running the Instant Fusion with Magic Key Fusion tuner monsters, so just in case that their Moye gets negated, you can easily have another chance. Outside of that, other cards that they have, Arch Nemesis Protoss is still legal. They're running Vishuda's, the only 10 you really need in a deck like this with 10 hand traps, which is mind-boggling in my opinion. Well, 12 make that. 13, if I can count. And after that, we have Bestial Dragon Link. Now, over in the OCG, they still have Chaos Ruler legal. They still have 3 Striker Dragon. And they have 3 of each, a Black Dragon Collapse Serpent and White Dragon Wiverbuster. But as you can see, they're only running 2 and 1 because space is space. And plus, Chaos Space is a card too, so it really doesn't matter. Now, some of the cards that I do want to talk about here in this list are things like Rock Caliber. It's a free level 4 tuner special summon if you have something like your Delingerous Dragon and Borrowload Savage Dragon, because you could Savage Dragon negate something, bring back your Recharger, special out your Caliber, go into a Synchro of 8, or you can just straight up use it as an extender if you have a Pisty on the board pointing to the right with nothing there yet. It's a really good card, and honestly, it's really, really a good tech option. You also have the 1 Gamma and the 1 Driver, because Gamma is searchable off of Chaos Space, and also the 1 Gamma is pretty good, along with Driver just being a free card that you can tribute off of stuff like Safer, or even sending it off a Dragon Ravine. Another card that I do want to mention that we've seen in a couple lists so far is Sky Striker Ace Azalea. This card is going to be very wonderful when it comes to TCG because it's another card that you can run in your extra deck that just takes 2 light or dark monsters, which is very generic, which I really do like. After that, we have Super Heavy Samurai. Now, this was closer to what the TCG was running, but we don't have Scythe, so that was taken out for another hand trap. They are also running the 1 Gamma, so it's still seeing play even at 1, and if you really want to keep playing Gamma, go for it, because the card's still very good if you draw it. Now, like I said, this is very close to what the TCG was running. You could see Cybersteins right there. I feel like OCG is also going to hit the card because, well, Master Duel just hit it, TCG just hit it, so it has to follow suit in that action because it can summon any fusion monster from the extra deck for the low cost of 5,000 life points, and it gets you an Omni Negate, which is Neterio Exterio, which is pretty good. After that, we have Branded. I am happy I see a Branded list, but the problem is this OCG has one fusion, one opening. And they're also finally playing Branded Expulsion, but they aren't running things like Gimmick Puppet Nightmare or anything that locks your opponent from summoning, which is very interesting in my opinion, because I would definitely be running something like Gimmick Puppet Nightmare. Could be the amount of Bystials that they are playing currently, because almost all these lists, some of these lists have had Bystials in them, which kudos to them. Outside of that, some of the tech choices I do see, Forbidden Droplet, that's a card that we rarely see nowadays, which I honestly do like to see. And I might start testing it this format as well because a Rise Heart got hit. Another SQAce list, this deck is almost the same as the other one, but as I said, the new support from Duel's Nexus helps out the deck quite a bit. We have Runic Stun. As we can see, we have the total of 10 Floodgates. They're running Tyrant Throws, which I haven't seen in a while. Tyrant Throws. Because Tyrant Throws is a very, very interesting card. I think it's Tyrant Throws. If I'm no, it's Triad. There's so many of these because it's yes, it's Tyrant Triad. Tribute 2 monsters, effects of effect monsters that activate in the hand or on the field cannot be activated. That card is a really powerful card, and you have to be careful with it because it just locks your opponent. It's another floodgate that they can run. The new level 9, it really helps out the deck as well because it just gives you another name just in case if you run out of the other ones. After that, we have Kashtira. Planet Pathfinder is a hell of a drug. And also running 3 Shinga Era, 3 Arise Heart, 3 Diabolosis. I don't know why TCG hasn't or didn't do that, because that is very, very powerful. On top of that, they're running 2 of the Primeval Planet for the Scareclaw, which is shocking because most of the time I only saw the one Pressured Planet. So that's quite nice. Afterwards, we have another Cianorica Avalon. They're running Cactus Bouncer as their pseudo card that they want to run. So that's really interesting, and honestly, I really like how this deck looks. It is a very powerful deck. But those are all the lists that we have, and going over some of the tech choices that they were playing. And it is pretty nice to see what OCG is doing compared to TCG, because we're both in a different landscape. And looking at the current meta for my locals, yeah, it is mostly Tearlament Kashtira, so that's one thing to take a note on. But over there, as we can see, their meta is over the top of just multiple different decks here and there. As we could see from Metagame Reports 7 and 8, it's purely Mathmech, Super Heavy Samurai, Adamancipator, Runic, Kashtira in the top 6 slots. And honestly, their meta is going to be changing soon with the next ban list coming up. But anyways, I've been Bolt Spider. I hope you guys did enjoy, and see you guys in the next video.